called Frosty Dinghy, and I'm the dolphin, and you're the flower.
Well, I guess. I think it should be Dr. Parker, but. All right, so here we are. Another episode of Frosty Dinghy. Caged Dolphin
nice
and Flounder.
moving cameras going today.
Well, I'm holding the camera. I'm downstairs. It's a lot cooler down here in the non-air conditioned house in the basement than it is anywhere else.
I just thought that was a new intro technique you developed there.
Yeah, that too. You know, hey, I heard they like it in Denmark.
You know, you're supposed to be standing in the background and then walk forward as you start talking and then sit on the desk like they do in all the good
and welcome.
commercials.
I'm Walter Brimley.
Have you met J.G. Wentworth?
Let me talk to you about type 2 diabetes.
Diabetes.
It's
diabetes.
So here we are, another fun episode. We're already starting off good. So let's start off with the most important thing. How's the family member?
He is currently sleeping on my couch. So he is went from a level 8 on oxygen when he was at his house, and he is now currently not using any.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff that's been going on at his house that I have to go remedy now. So, and he will be in my house for the foreseeable future. So that is his happy Father's Day present.
I'm sure there's nothing else he would rather have.
Yeah.
I can say full honesty, that man has genuine love for you. Going to watch Pella Corps League softball at 3 a.m. to support you. That's kind of dad you got. That's awesome. So
I definitely understand that, and he is happily content sitting out there on the couch. I'm sure you can hear the TV because every neighbor in the neighborhood now can as well.
So you weren't even nice enough to give him your spare bedroom. You've turned into this fine orange studio. You're like,
well,
no,
see, we had that
the couch.
We had that conversation, and he wants the couch. He was going to get his own bedroom and all of that stuff, but he prefers the couch. So that one's on him. That's not me.
Yeah.
I was going to put a twin bed in my media room for me and let him have the big bedroom.
Well, that'd been pretty nice. Yeah, too nice actually. But
well, there's a lot of stuff in here that I could have moved to the basement, like the bathtub and the tile and all the stuff that needs done in the bathroom that I haven't got to yet.
Yeah.
Which it's a good thing I didn't put in the new tub because it's like 26 inches high on the sides. Nice. Oh, and I have cool little new rubber duckies in my bathtub now.
Well, all right.
And I can sit down in my bathtub now, and I have beer shelves, so I can just have a chair and a beer the whole time I'm in there. A new shower head.
You can play. Sorry, my son is in here. I've invaded his space. So he was kind of looking at me like, I want to play my PlayStation that I bought, Dad, on the TV that you bought, on the interweb connection that you pay for. He's just smiling at me. He's a good kid.
And don't forget to rub in that it is Father's Day.
It is Father's Day. So
you should be coming first today.
Well, I am coming first because I am downstairs in the air conditioning. I have been allowed down here.
By which one?
by my son. This is kind of like his little apartment he's got down here. He's got this big like living room area. He's got his bedroom. He's got his own bathroom. The shower's in the laundry room, but hey, he's 17. Hey, get what you get.
I like those basement showers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Basement showers are great.
Yeah. Well, this one's actually it's got its own like shower stall thing. It's not like it's one of those against the wall wide open. So it's a little more
you're saying he's spoiled.
Oh, he's very spoiled.
It ain't just got the 2 garden hose spigot on and off turn-ons with a little hose that runs up to a shower head mounted on the ceiling over the floor drain.
And honestly, that's what we had in our house in Oakland. We had the basement shower, kind of like that. It didn't have the garden hose, but it was pretty close.
Or just the 2 copper pipes that run up to the shower head.
That's what it was.
But it still had the old school, like either the little barbell turn handles or the like wagon wheel spoked handle for the garden hose. That's what we had on ours.
These weren't that. These were up and down levers, half turn half turn on.
You,
So
you're fancy, sir.
yeah, I think it was $27 at the Menards.
Oh my God, $27 was like $2.95.
Yeah. Well,
And
so
they came as a pack.
anyways, so I sent your father a message. Has he said whether he appreciated it or not, or is that
Nope.
now something he's not into?
I watched him open it, and he said, "Holy shit," and then didn't say another fucking word about it. So
Well, that sucks. I thought I got him something personalized and special that he would enjoy and make him feel better. And
no, I'm guessing it did, but he didn't have his glasses. But now that he's got his glasses, he might
don't-
enjoy it a little bit more.
I don't think he needed his glasses to see those.
Probably not. He not sure if he responded to anybody that sent him text messages. I know he didn't read them for a few days because I didn't have his glasses here until Friday night when I got home.
Well, that sucks. But yeah, hopefully he gets to feeling better, and all goes well with that there. So
Yeah, it's been exciting. It's like I'm back in high school, except for I'm living in my own house. It's fun. Not much has changed in what 30 years.
yeah, well, that's the cycle of life right there, right? They
Yeah.
raise you, and then you raise them.
I'm not in the raising ability. I don't think I have that gene anymore.
Well,
But
So,
we'll figure it out. It can't be that bad.
that's right. So, anyways, what else is going on? We got not this week, but next week we got a busy weekend.
Yep, not this upcoming one, but next weekend will be pretty busy. The camper for that should show up on Friday morning, I believe. So we'll have a camper Friday and Saturday night. And I don't know. So I was going to ask you, do you want to be set up next to Steeler up in the upper part, or do you want to be down by the water?
Oh, we can set up next to Steelers. It's where it'll be best.
Okay.
I'm guessing it'll either be late Friday because we got baseball. So it'll be late Friday or very early Saturday morning when I get there.
Yeah, because if we're there, I mean, I don't know what time the golf tournament starts yet, but I think it has to be around like 9 in the morning or something like that. But
I'm sure it's plenty early.
yeah, I'll get that figured out. And then maybe figure out how to swing a golf club sometime in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do some stretching myself. Last time I swing, I look like I've spent the last 3 years in a upper body cast. My shoulders just don't work too well anymore. So
It's all in your hips, remember? It's all in your hips.
The hips are moving fine. It's the shoulders that don't work.
Well, you got, 12 kids? So yeah, I can tell the hips
Yeah.
are moving fine.
Oh, the hips don't lie.
So we do have some exciting things planned for the either after the golf tournament or Friday whenever you get down there. And I told Earl that he has to have a fishing license for this as well. So
So he used his real name.
it's
now.
gonna
Do
be
we
a
need to
fun
redo that real
surprise.
quick? You used his real name. So do you need to redo that line real quick, or
no, it'll be fine.
All
Steeler ain't gonna matter too much.
at some point we need to get him on here with us, so that way he can become an official friend of the program.
That will happen Friday and probably Saturday.
Nice.
Both, because I plan on live streaming Friday night. And, well, I'm going to try to do all of the golf tournament, but we might have to take a break in there because I'm sure the phone will die at some point, or we'll have to switch it over to yours or something like that halfway through.
Well, and maybe we can find one of those battery pack thingies. That way we can just keep her going too. Let
I
the
have
good
one of
times
those
roll.
solar ones, the solar ones that you can do, but I don't have the one that we can come pre-charged to stick in it, but I'm sure we'll find something by then.
I'll have to look. I bet we have 1 or 2 or 12 around here because having a diabetic child, we make sure her phone is charged because that's how her blood sugar is monitored.
No, but yeah, I figured we'd have the
Up.
yeah, that's nice. I figured we'd have the live stream going for the whole golfing event, and I should
Nice.
have. I do believe I have something that can hold the phone and it'll stick onto the golf cart as well because I have it for my GoPro. That, or we can just run the GoPro as the camera. I mean, there's
Cool.
all kinds of options that we
And-
have for that.
Is it the magnet thing from the TikTok shop? Because I bought one of those for $4, and once I got it on the windshield, it worked great. The only negative is it fell off, and the suction cup is never unsuctioned; it's still sucked in, so I can't reinstall it. So, or not, I apologize. It wasn't TikTok Shop. It was Temu. It was a Temu find.
Oh my God.
So it was a
That's
top
even
dollar.
worse.
Yeah, it was a top dollar Temu find for $4. It was worth the chance. It was worth a shot. It was kind of cool, the MagSafe holder, but it didn't work out.
Yeah, mine's the official GoPro suction cup thingy that you stick to the window of your Jeep. So I got that one. The only thing I didn't
Nice.
figure out is you have to stick it on upside down. The holder's got to go upside down, otherwise your GoPro records everything upside down.
Well, that's annoying.
Yeah, no, I'd noticed that after 4 hours of recording on off roads. That was exciting.
Yeah.
So what'd you get to do for Father's Day? Anything special other than the camping expedition?
No, we just kind of laid around the camper, made breakfast this morning, and hung out at the camper, and it was nice. I mean, it's what I wanted, right? I mean, it's pretty spectacular. I love just kind of hanging out with my family. It was my youngest daughter's birthday yesterday, so she always has to compete with Father's Day, or I have to compete with her birthday, which,
Yeah, I think you lose that every time.
yeah, oh yeah, that's so. And unfortunately, not a lot of our family members from around here made it because it's College World Baseball season or College Baseball World Series stuff time, and they spend a lot of time over there at games, which is, I mean, it's a great experience. So who can blame them?
Yeah, that'd be a
So
great time. I've always
so
wanted to
that
go to the softball World Series, but not so much the baseball.
yeah, I can tell you where it's at in Omaha there. If I was to go over, I don't even know if I'd want to go watch the games in the stadium. I think I'd rather go hang out in all of the exterior plazas that are like beer gardens and always have the game up on TV and are actually shaded and shit. The stadium is kind of wide open, real easy to get burned. So
See, that's how I feel about all live sporting events anymore. I'd like to go for the tailgating, but I have no ambition to go inside of a stadium and watch the team when you can, or even like UFC fights. I'd prefer
well,
to just sit in a bar and watch them.
well, so a small update from my sister-in-law. She is getting ready to sign her last enlistment letter. So at this point, she'll have, I think it's a 2-year deal, enlistment letter, or whatever, and that'll put her at her 20 years, I believe. So then she'll retire with full military benefits. But part of the deal they're doing is she will actually be throwing out the first pitch at the Minnesota Twins game on the 12th. So we'll be going up there to actually, I haven't been up to Target Field yet. I'm kind of excited. They're playing the Pirates, so who knows? Maybe we'll see Paul Skeens pitch. Apparently he's pretty awesome. But I look forward to getting up there and seeing my brother and my nephews. But I haven't been up to New Target Field yet, so that should be fun.
Well, it's like I said, you're going for a family event. You're not just going to go to the game. So
Well,
it's a bit different.
well, and the other thing is, I mean, I'll have my kids with me, especially like my son, who'll be very excited to go. It'll be his first Major League Baseball game he gets to go to, I believe. We've done minor league games, but never major league. So I think seeing it through his eyes, I think will kind of reignite it for me too. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, if you were to say, "Hey, Wes, we want you to go to Minnesota watch a baseball game by yourself," okay, I'm a baseball nut. I'd probably like it, but um, just to have my family with me is going to make it even a better experience. To be able to see the joy they get out of it, I think that's something that fathers get. It's as your kids grow, it's less about you and more about them.
No, I can definitely understand that part of it. I don't have that issues. Most of
You're right.
it's just on my own experiences. I've done it enough that
Yeah,
I'm happy and content with the amount of things that I've seen in person, with the
yeah.
exception of there's a couple things. We we don't ever see ourselves going out of the U.S. anymore. So I think I'll just stay here.
Nice.
I don't need to go see Rome or Italy or any of that fun stuff.
I'd like to go see it. I really would. But honestly, the thing me and Amy have talked about since we were first, well, not first dating, but when we first decided to get married, was when we retire, we wanted to get the RV and we wanted to travel and see all the ballparks and see a game in all the ballparks.
So
And if
you're making the big road trip, huh?
oh yeah, I mean, it'll take more than a year. I hope. We do it over 5, 10, 20 years because I want to be around a long time after I retire. But Yeah, it should be awesome for Father's Day. She got me this. They got me this awesome gift. It's from the Wanderer or something like that, and it's a keychain. And the keychain is actually has like a piece of like baseball glove leather made into like a strip. And for anywhere you go, any ball field you go to, you can buy this little like Lucky Charm. They're always after me, Lucky Charms. You can buy this charm to go on this keychain. And of course, so when Amy got me mine, I've got the 4 Lucky Charms already. So I got the old Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome and old Comiskey and Wrigley and Kaufman already. So I'll be able to get Target Field on there here this year too. So that'll be cool.
What's the one that you think will be the hardest one for you to get to?
Probably, honestly, I'm not sure what the hardest would be at this point anymore because maybe the Dodgers. I mean, it's not like baseball's like football. Right, football games are constantly. I mean, unless you're going to see a team that just sucks, the stadiums are full. There's always the secondary market, but the stadiums are full. Baseball, they're typically not sellouts. Let's be honest about it. There's always available seats, as long as you're not looking at playoffs or Dodgers, Giants, or Yankees, Red Sox, or anything like that, or holiday weekends or shit. So. I don't know what would be the hardest to get to. I guess St. Louis would be the one that I would look at and say we could do that one last because fuck the Cardinals.
I was talking more of like your drive wise on which one you think would be the hardest trip, not the hardest stadium to buy a ticket for.
Well, it's hard to say because I guarantee we're going to want to spend some time out of Washington when we get to that point. So driving down to California and shit won't be too bad from there. I guess Arizona would be kind of more difficult.
Denver, depending, can't handle heat.
Well, actually, that's not true anymore. I'm more than willing to go live in South Padre today. I look at the Mexico and the weather in Mexico, and I think, you know what, I can deal with that. So, I would like an air conditioned house to enjoy the heat, and when I want to come out of the heat, that would be nice. But as far as it goes, I'd much rather have the heat.
So back to the stadium. Which one do you think would be the hardest one?
I would guess probably Phoenix, just because it's kind of out in the middle of fucking nowhere, or Arizona, whatever you want to call them. I mean, they're just there's nothing else around them. Like you go to California, you got 2 in LA, you got San Francisco, and I know the Angels are typically Anaheim, but they're called LA. You got San Diego, which is way down by the border, but you could hit San Francisco. Well, I guess Oakland's not there anymore. They're in Las Vegas. So, but that's only what 6 hours from Los Angeles.
Yeah, 4.5 to 6. I can't remember exactly. I know it's pretty easy drive.
So I mean that's still not even that terrible, really. It's probably as far from San Francisco to L.A. as it is L.A. to Vegas.
See, I figured the Northeast teams would be the hardest ones to get to.
Well, I think once you get there, you'd be able to hit a lot of them on quick time.
Yeah, you'd be able to hit Philly, the Mets, the Yankees, Boston, all of those pretty quick.
Yeah.
And the Nationals.
Yeah. I mean, really, if you look at it, yeah, they're DC. I mean, the Pirates and the Guardians, they're like 3 hours apart.
We still got the Blue Jays running around up there, don't we?
Yeah, the Blue Jays, but they're right across the border. I don't think that's too far from I guess it's right across from Buffalo, isn't it? Which they don't have a team, but I mean, there's stuff up there. Yeah, I guess Toronto would probably be the most difficult, but at the same time, it might be pretty awesome.
I'm saying the Northeast is just driving wise. If you're taking the camper, there's not.
Yeah,
it doesn't seem to me like there's a great parking place that's commutable, rather easy to the ball fields in the Northeast.
I think what you would do is you'd find the campground, and then you would just, like anything anymore, you just Uber there, right? Why deal with fucking traffic when you can just pay someone to drive your happy ass to the front door?
Well, you can have the Subway series, reenact it.
Yeah.
Go from one thing to the next up there. But no, I figured that would be the hardest one is the Northeast teams.
Yeah, probably Toronto. Toronto would probably be the most difficult to get to. Like I said, Phoenix, there's not much around. It's kind of out in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Make sure you get a day game at the White Sox and the Orioles.
Well, and so like I said, the charms that I got for that keychain, it's Old Comiskey that I went to, and it was a night game
Ooh.
that we went to, and I was young enough at the time. I didn't realize the neighborhood we were in.
Yeah, but it was a
Uh,
different environment than it is now in Chicago. So you were
yeah,
fine if you're a
it
baseball fan.
it still wasn't a great area, period. I mean,
Yeah, no.
it really is not, but so yeah,
I
that's
like
my
the
look
White
forward
Sox,
to.
so but I have no ambition to go to a baseball game.
Yeah,
At least not there.
I
I wouldn't mind. I'd go to any free game that I'm invited to, but I'm not going to pay to go to a baseball game. I
I'd
might
like
go
to
to
go.
the Astros.
I'd like to go to Wrigley again. It's been 30 years since I've been to Wrigley. Um, I'm a little I'm saddened that the Astros, and I know it's been a long time since they had it, but they took out that hill that they had in center field. I
Yeah.
always thought that was kind of a neat little quirk of their baseball stadium, and the flagpole that was on the field play also. Um, I thought it was
Leave it
kind of
to
a
Texas.
I thought it was kind of a neat little quirk, and they got rid of it because let's be honest, it was kind of dumb, but it was kind of neat. So I'm a little sad that that went away.
So I was talking to Scott, I forget what you call him.
Their
My
operations manager.
my operational, yeah, manager guy. And he was telling me about the Rough Riders in Frisco, Texas. You ever heard of them? The Double A or Triple A team down there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They have a lazy river that goes around the outside of the ballpark. So while they're playing games, you can just sit in a tube and go
Well, that's
tubing
pretty
while you're
awesome.
watching. Yeah. That beats San Francisco where you got to paddle around in a kayak trying to get a home run ball.
Well, and that would be kind of cool too. So speaking of tubing, that's coming up next month also.
Yeah, that's July 19th.
Yeah.
I'll be there on the 17th through the 20th, I believe.
So does friend of the show Dursky, his band plays on the 19th, so I assume he will not be tubing that day.
He will not. He can't. It's against the company policy to allow the band to tube on the day they play. So he will be tubing Thursday and Friday.
So I looked up his band's Facebook page,
Oh,
the Five Below band.
yeah.
Did I see it was either they were the 2024 or the 2025? I'm not sure which. Des Moines Local Band of the Year.
Yes, that was last year.
So that's pretty awesome. I mean, I know Des Moines is a small market and in the middle of fucking nowhere, but still, that's pretty cool. And I saw his TikTok for his practice there on the TikTok. Everybody knows the world's full of stupid people. I love it. I'm looking forward to listening to that. I think it'll be fun.
It definitely is. It's a good time. He played Altoona last night, I believe. I think that's where he was at. I didn't make it up there because I had other things to get going on. But so I keep forgetting I have to call and reserve you a spot because I keep forgetting to ask you how many days you're going to be there.
I would say let's plan on Friday, Saturday.
Okay. So 2 of them.
Yeah.
Have you figured out who all's going yet?
Well, I know it'll be me and Amy. I think maybe some kids, but I'm not sure.
So how it works on the tubing aspect of it is, like I said, Joey can't go on Saturday, so he goes a couple days early, 2 days earlier, and then he's also got Iowa games that weekend. So he's gonna have to go run and do all that stuff in between all of the other stuff he's got going on. But Saturday, everybody that's up there to see him, like his wife and the sister-in-law and all that, they all go tubing on Saturday. Well, he's going to be at the Iowa games. So it should be exciting.
So I would say this, and I know you saw my last TikTok yesterday.
The one where you were a traitor?
Yes. So
or the Saints and Sinners one.
No, but I want to say this. I want to say this publicly. I'm not the traitor. I looked for the Iowa State 1858 or the Zone vodka. I checked out several stores and could not find it until I just decided on a different local distillery. Some distillery out Osceola. It's okay. It wasn't as good, let's be honest. But I knew you were going to call me a traitor on that, so I was prepared to say I took the extra steps to try to find what I wanted. I feel like, I mean, Western Iowa, we're like the neglected stepchild of Iowa. Like, no one gives a shit about us. We're over here. We have Sioux City and Council Bluffs as our big towns, which are fucking rat's nests.
You guys are Nebraska loyalists. Of course we don't care.
Yeah, exactly. So I believe I'm taking the camper over Wednesday for taking it for the junior rodeo. So I think I'll have to stop by, and I don't know if I'll run down to Cumming and pick some up special from the distillery or what, but I might have to get a couple bottles just so I have.
Hey, where's the junior rodeo at?
It's at the Iowa State Fair.
So you'll be right next to where I work.
Oh, yeah?
I'm 4 blocks from there.
Nice. Yeah. No, I'm taking the camper there Wednesday. I'm renting it out to a family from Ontario. So they will be staying in my camper. And so I'm taking over Wednesday, and then I'll be picking it up Sunday when we're done golfing and all that. So
You got it all figured out.
yeah.
So not this week, it's next week you're taking the camper.
No, I'm taking it this Wednesday. Yes.
For the whole week and a half.
They're coming in Friday, but because of this rodeo thing, the state fairgrounds are closed for anything besides them. So I can get it in there Wednesday, get it all set up for them. I'll hide the keys somewhere, that way they can get in, and then I'll pick it up on Sunday. And then I think what I'm doing is I will be leaving it at a buddy's business there in Des Moines for a couple weeks until we go camping up in Eldora, where I'll swing by, pick it up, go up to Eldora, and then I'll take it back down there. And then I have a family that is renting it for the Iowa State Fair in 2 weeks after that. So rather than drag it back and forth, I'm just gonna keep it over there. And so the renting the camper was an aspect of things that I was hoping you'd get to talk to my operational manager for. So, because he was looking at getting Airbnbs, like buying places, fixing them up around the lake, and doing the Airbnb. And then I brought up the whole you rent out your camper thing, so we could probably do that. Well, definitely. Like, I mean, especially if you could find an open lot that you could stick 3 or 4 campers on, have the utilities in there, have water, let them be able to hook up to full water, hook up to full sewer, electrical, maybe build a shower house. That way people aren't stuck just using the showers and the bathrooms in the camper. But I know those are kind of a destination charge where they actually get more money for them because you're on the lake, beats a destination. And so let's be honest, you can buy campers fairly cheaply anymore. And you put in your concrete pad, you set them up kind of permanent, like, especially being in Texas, it's not like you have to worry about freezing that often. So
you do where he's at. He still has he's north far enough that there's still 4 seasons. So,
okay. But still, I mean, it's one of those things it just means you put some of that thermal wrap on the bottom of the camper to protect the plumbing. But other than that, you should be fine.
Yeah. So
if they're not being rented,
the state park of him just transporting them the 15 miles to the park and setting them up and tearing them down, that kind of it.
Yeah, well, and that's something you could do too. And like I said, if you find a fucking open plot of land that is right on the lake, and you get 3 or 4 on there, you never even have to move them. They just, like I said, you can leave them. You just leave them set up right there. It's a destination. It's like, hey, now not only are you renting the camper, you're renting a lake location.
Yeah. No, I get that. And if he ended up with something on the lake, I could just dock my boat there too and make it a whole hell of a lot easier.
Yeah, you can bring in another camper, make it your office.
Or my house, one of them.
Yeah, there you go.
But no, that was something I wanted you guys talk a little bit about the financing, and not the financing, but the funds that you can make off of it, since you've been in the business a little bit.
Yeah,
I actually rented us a camper for the golf outing, and I went through Airbnb because that's who they use, which I really wish they would have rented me from the price that they have quoted on their Facebook page. It would have saved me $120. Should be okay.
I didn't know Airbnb did camper rentals, to be honest with you. I do RV Easy. I found it's a spectacular website. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't aware Airbnb did that either, but that's where the link that they sent me to book it through. So and it
Nice.
took me to
Uh,
Airbnb. I'm like, well, that's interesting.
I might check that out then, depending on how things work out.
They
But I mean,
from what I understood is they add Airbnb adds a few fees and services that the others don't. Like they charge $60 for the cleaning fee and all that kinds of stuff, and they got better legal coverage or something. I don't know what it was.
So like I know like my camper, I charge a cleaning fee. I can choose how much it is. That's not Airbnb's to decide. That's me.
Yeah,
And you know, they give suggested prices on things, and there are some things like the price on my camper is like mid-range. It's not on the high scope. It's not on the low scope. I don't want to put it on the low scope, to be honest with you. But actually, I knew that Junior National Rodeo was coming to town, and I jacked up the price to higher than the recommended, and it still got rented. Um, the mileage, if I transport it, it gives a suggested mileage, and I put it at the highest because I'm like, if I got to transport it, I'm going to get paid for my time.
yeah.
I'm not. It's not just gas to me; it's my time as a professional driver. That is my time, so I want to make sure I'm properly compensated for that. I don't want to lose money taking a camper somewhere. It
Yeah, you
doesn't,
definitely don't wanna do that.
Yeah, so
It defeats the purpose at that point.
so yeah, I charge $4 a mile, which seems like a lot, but when I got to do a double trip to go set it up and then pick it back up, so I'm taking 4 trips wherever it's at. It equals $1 a mile, which I feel is decent. You know, honestly, if you don't want to pay it, buy your own camper.
And then charge people $4 a mile.
Yeah. And I have a minimum charge. So like I haven't rented out here, I think, Labor Day, and they're paying me to take it to the local state park, which is 20 miles away. $150 I'm getting paid to take it 20 miles away. So I'm making sure that it's covering my time, and I know that I'm going to have to do all the dumping of the toilets and shit. That is what it is. That's part of the charge also. It's like I know I'm going to have to do this, and I'm going to charge you for it. I had some person last year, you know, they're wanting it to rent it down and take it down to a lake 60 miles away, and they didn't want to pay the mileage. I'm like, there's no fucking way. I'm not doing it for fucking free. Fuck off. It's that simple. You know, I get it, but you know what? If you're trying to nickel and dime me, I don't know if I want you to stay in it, because you know I'm not a budget motel. I'm not Motel 6 of campers.
You don't leave a light on for them?
No, fuck no. Well, actually, I do. I leave all the marker lights on, and that way it's easier to find. Yeah, it's
outside furniture and stuff too, and set up for them?
I don't set it up, especially like this one. They won't be there till Friday. But like inside the basement, I have a rug. I have all of the stakes. That way they can stake the rug down. There is a couple of the cheap folding like chairs that if they get broke, I don't really care. I'm not going to be sad about it. But it's like I sent this lady that's running it this week a message this week, and I said, hey, just wondering if you want me to leave you a couple coolers. I mean, you're renting it for over a week. I can leave you a couple coolers if you don't want to bring them down from fucking Ontario, Canada. You know what I mean? Obviously, if you're just renting it for the weekend, I'm not going to do that. But it's, you know, it's like a 9-day rental or some shit like that. Plus paying mileage, I'll leave you a cooler if you want it.
Yeah, I'm not going to pay you mileage to sleep in your camper. I'm going to tell you that right now. If you bring it, great. If you don't, I'll sleep in the Jeep. I'm just saying, no mileage for you, sir.
I'm bringing it to Eldora. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to that. So yeah,
it should be a good time. I mean, I can foresee how it wouldn't be a good time for me, but it's going to be a fun time. It wasn't that great for me on my last trip, but well, shit happens.
Yeah. So
I did find out I still have 4-wheel drive, because that's how I got out of the river.
Well, that's a positive.
Yeah, I was on all fours trying to climb the hill, dragging a cooler. So 4-wheel drive still works.
One thing I found here working for the state, you know, we use like the John Deere case tractors to mow the interstates and the highways and the medians and shit. And you always mow in 2-wheel drive. That way, if you get stuck, you have 4-wheel drive to get you out. Because if you get stuck in 4-wheel drive, you're not getting out.
Oh, yeah.
You get stuck in 2-wheel drive, there's a chance you put in 4-wheel drive and you will get out of whatever you're stuck in.
Yeah, that's great when you're in a vehicle, but I try to stay in 2-wheel drive as a person as much as possible. But I did find out that my interlocker still works.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So you're one of those guys that you don't throw things at on the side of the road on the interstate now. One of the
Hey,
mower guys.
I would sure appreciate it if you don't throw shit at me. Yes.
You're gonna have to tell me where you're
It's
going because I'll drive by and throw
I,
shit at you all day.
and let's be honest, in the lawnmower, the giant tractor, I'm not going to be able to chase you down on the interstate anyways. You're going to be going 75, 80, and I'm going to be going 12.
I'd
So,
probably slow down a little bit, just make sure I hit you a few times. Just saying,
well, you'll have to get real fucking close. I've seen you throw.
a lot more accurate than my golf shot. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
So there is a key to this whole tubing thing that you're gonna have to remember because I forgot once and they just got lucky enough that they had an extra one. But if you need a big tube, you got to tell them that you need a big tube before you leave
Okay.
from the park because they only load the skinny people tubes on top of the bus unless you tell them you have to have a big tube.
I
And
got
they
you.
will not just give you a big tube if you forgot to tell them.
That's fair.
And then
That's
your
fair.
butt drags on the rocks. I'm just saying. It
Well,
definitely.
that sounds less than enjoyable.
Well, the last time that we went, the water, 90% of the people were walking, dragging their tubes, and there was only a
That's
few. There was only a few of us that were smart enough to stay in the actual current and not get hung up very often. But everybody walked and drug a little bit.
well. I hope it's higher then. Did you
Yeah.
speaking of rivers and water? Did you see the city of Des Moines is on like a no drinking water clause right now?
Newton was on that too. Apparently, I didn't know it about it, but
Yeah, so apparently the Des Moines Water Works, it gets all their water out of the Raccoon River, and the nitrate levels are double the EPA allowance, and that is even after running it through their nitrogen removal system, which costs the Des Moines Water Works $16,000 a day to make the Raccoon River water drinkable. So even after spending $16,000 a day, it's not drinkable right now. So,
outstanding.
and I don't want to bash farmers because they provide us a lot. When I was a kid, I remember the story was for every year that you do corn, you have to do 5 years of beans to let the nitrogen regrow in the field. Now with all the anhydrous and the fertilizer and all the other shit, they can go back to back if they want. So I think that's what's causing the problems with that.
The runoff
Um,
is catching up on them.
yes. So I think as a state we need to take a look at ourselves and decide, hey, yes, we need to make sure we have farmers that can get the most out of their fields with corn and beans, but we also need to make sure our residents can drink the water without getting cancer, which I know Iowa has one of the higher cancer rates in the nation. So,
Well, we also need to do that nationwide, not just in Iowa, because honestly, we are destroying our water supply like
it,
everywhere.
yeah,
And I know it's not as bad as it is in other countries, but we need to get under control before we don't have any.
right. Well, and it's like so right now the government just kind of shot down California's EV standards that they were saying all vehicles in California by like 2035 that were sold in California had to be electric, which is a terrible idea.
Yeah, that's horrible. Electric is not the future.
But the nation is, I mean, as a nation, we kind of have followed California on their emissions laws and shit. And for the nation to finally say, no, we're not following that shit is a positive. It's been too long. I know as a guy who drove semi truck, we went to these stupid closed shoulder tires to help with fuel mileage, which in most of California is going to be fine. But you get in a rain and snow and they suck ass. They're terrible. Not so bad if you got tandem tractor, but if you got single axle, they're shit.
Yeah.
But we were following California standards. So I'm kind of glad to see the nation kind of stand up to California and say, yeah, this isn't about you.
Yeah, definitely need to find a different direction to go to help the environment, like the hydrogen car that they came out with. Have you seen that one?
I've heard about it. I haven't seen anything on it.
Apparently, if I remember reading about it in the video I watched, right, the emissions that come out of it are carbon dioxide and water.
Yeah, that's usually how that works. Is that it breaks down the hydrogen and like it
splits the atoms with electricity to fuel it or something along those lines, if I remember it correctly. And then I don't know if this one's true or not, but I saw that there's somebody that figured out how to turn plastic into fuel and without hardly any emissions whatsoever to get rid of plastic pollutants and turn it back into fuel.
Well, something needs to happen with the plastics. Obviously, they don't really break down. They're in our system forever. These microplastics are a terrible, terrible thing. You know, it's like coming from the trucking industry. When the diesel engine when the non-combustion engine was patented, it actually ran on peanut oil. It got changed to diesel, and at the time, diesel was just like a waste product of changing oil into gasoline. It was junk. It was shit. So they had a lot of it, so they were able to make it run on those engines cheaper than peanut oil at the time. Even now we spend so much money producing diesel because the nation uses so much that it's what's keeping the gas and diesel prices high, because it's not a waste product that's being used now. We are refining oil directly into diesel for trucking purposes. So yeah, I'm excited at the thought of that getting better, So
electric power wouldn't be bad other than the batteries. Like if we could find a different way than batteries and we didn't need all of that, and if the battery starts on fire, you could put it out, but it causes more problems creating the oh Jesus Christ. Creates more problems creating the electrical vehicles or anything that has to have a battery. It destroys more than it helps.
Yeah.
Well, and especially since it's still powered by the fuel that they're trying to get rid of.
Right. And I love when you see the electric vehicle tow trucks on the side of the road with their diesel generators to repower the cars.
Yeah.
Which is generally what's going on.
Which, if it's not that way, it's either a nuclear plant or a coal plant that's providing the power to charge the car to begin with.
Yeah. So it's
because the wind turbines, you get a lot out of them, but they're not charging enough of the cars. It doesn't put enough power in the grid that way.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. I know we have a lot of windmills in our area. I couldn't tell you the stats on them.
Yeah, mate, I used to build them, and I don't know 100% of the stats. I just know that I got paid to pretend we're green because I've seen the process, and we're not that green.
What's scary is like those big blades, you can't really break them down and use them for anything else. My understanding is right now, like they have replaced most of the ones that were built over here like 10 years ago already. And these blades just get shipped off to be like stuck in some dugout mountain out in Colorado or some shit because they don't have anything they can do with them.
The best thing that they've found to use them for is grind them up and put them in cement or asphalt to help strengthen roads.
Well, I mean, at least that's something.
But not very many of them go that route yet.
So,
I mean, if you saw the process on how they were made, they're not green. They're really not.
Well, I think that's the problem with all of it. We don't have a system. I mean, yeah, it sounds great to think, yeah, we're using wind to power everything. Have you seen the steel used as the foundation for those windmills? Have you seen one of those?
Yeah.
There's 9 tons of steel. And I guarantee that steel factory is not getting its power from wind power to make all that steel.
Well, the towers get made, what is it? Probably 2.5 city blocks away from where the blades are made. So,
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing that isn't made anywhere near here are the motors that drive them. I mean, the
And
whatever the
those
hell they put on.
fuckers are huge.
Yeah. Can you
Huge.
imagine having to try to figure out how to put a brake on those to make them from stop spinning?
No.
Yeah. I don't want any hand in the engineering part of those things.
Well, and you just look at the tractors and trailers that drive those things around the country. Those things will have 24, 32 axles on the sons of bitches. They're heavy, they're huge, they're roadway destroyers, and then not even that, you got to deal with these goddamn escort vehicles that think they're fucking higher than fucking state patrol. I swear to God, I about had one on 59 one day. I about got out and fucking kicked his fucking ass. We're coming up to this bridge, right? And the front escort like pulls out in front of me and holds a stop sign out of his window. That way this windmill or whatever can get by. And so I pulled up bumper to him. You know, he was thinking, you know, I would stay back far enough where he'd be able to get back over fine. No, I got as close to that motherfucker as I could. Because I was pissed. Because that fucking windmill was still half a mile fucking away. And then when he backed up so that way he could go around me, I just went forward with him. I am not a fan of you. If you are an escort driver for oversized loads, if that's what you do as a job, get bent. I hate you.
Oh, that's funny.
Turn off our radio show. We do not want you as a listener. Your mom hates you.
What about the ones that have to drive the back wheels?
That's pretty cool. You know what? You got skill and talent. Thank you for what you do.
But they're the ones that are in there being the pilot cars. The back pilot car drives the rear wheels.
Well, I assume I thought you were talking like the back seat of like a fire truck.
No, I was talking about the pilot cars drive the back wheels on some of the rigs.
Yeah, when they're making those crazy ass turns, fuck them too. Fuck off. Fucking pilot car motherfuckers.
So I take it you don't stop at any pilot semi stations either, huh? Truck stops.
I don't give a shit about that.
Go do the flying J's.
If you're not a car with a 19-foot antenna on the fucking front of your fucking hood, I don't care.
I'm gonna bring a 19-foot antenna and put it on your truck.
Your mom likes a 19-foot antenna.
Bet she used to.
Fucking motherfucking escort car motherfuckers.
So I have been told, I don't remember the name of the person he's going to, but my cousin contacted me, the one that lives in Florida, said he's going to be back about the same time that the golf tournament is. And he needed something from my mom and something from my uncle. And he was going to take it with him to a psychic show to see if my uncle or my mother would show up to have a conversation.
I guarantee your mom would.
I told him that he better be careful what he wishes for.
Yeah.
But he also promised that if it happens, he's coming on the podcast and he's going to talk and we're going to talk about it. It was his idea. He wants on the podcast 100%.
Then I hope it happens because that would be great. Great.
I told everybody that I told this to that he better hope it's my uncle. My mom is gonna be pissed.
Yeah.
And she is crazy.
Yeah, God bless her.
Yeah, because
I don't really believe in God anyways, but hey, whatever you believe in, bless her. Actually, my problem is I believe in multiple gods: baseball gods, golf gods.
You believe in superstitions,
alcohol gods.
Now that one I agree with, but you believe in superstitions.
Oh, I don't know. I believe that like baseball gods. I believe in baseball gods. I do. They will be there when you need them. If you are a major league pitcher and your father just passed away and you're pitching the next day anyways, it's about guarantee you're throwing a no-hitter. I don't know what it is. I can't describe it.
Psychological.
If your wife's in the hospital about ready to have a kid, but you come to the ball field anyways, you're hitting 2 home runs and you're going to get out of there just in time to get to the hospital and watch your kid get born. The baseball gods giveth.
And they taketh away? Are you going to finish that?
They don't take it away.
Really? What about a no-hit streak? Whose fault's that?
That shit happens. That's life. You can't blame the gods for the bad things.
Why not?
That's because they follow the Christian rules. You don't. Yeah,
If you believe
if
that everything in this world that happens is good,
yeah,
how can you not blame for the
exact
bad?
exactly. They follow the Christian rules. If you get cured from cancer, oh, the gods love me. They're great. Fucking 4-year-old dies of fucking leukemia. They don't fucking blame God. I tell you that much.
Okay, but should they?
Well, if you believe in them,
If everything's predestined, and
if
there's
if you
one person is so basically what you're saying is it's like you got a room full of kids, right? And you're in charge of them.
oh
And
fuck.
you turn around to write on the blackboard and one falls down and gets a skinned knee. It accidents happen. Is that what you're saying's going on here?
Maybe.
They're
So
holding hands with the kid and they accidentally let go of one.
so what I need to know at this point is if it was a fight to the death between Kobe and a class of kindergartners, how big of a class of kindergartners would it take to take down Kobe?
It would take a few,
Because at some point they'll be able to overrun you.
but they're kindergartners. Do
That's
they
right.
know what they're doing?
I'm saying it takes at least 60.
I'm saying it'll be like basically end up like Zombieland 2, where it has the different kinds of toddlers. Because, the Homer ones, they're not a danger. You give me a room full of the Homer kids, the ones that are just wandering around, they usually don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm fine. But if you give me the T whatever ones that they classified, those little hellion kids, it'll take a lot less.
Okay, so let's go Gen X kindergartners.
5. Gen X kindergartners already have a full-time job. They've been doing the house chores for years. They drive themselves to and from school.
That's right.
And they built their own house by now. I'm serious. They're already moving out. They've got co-signed on an apartment. And they're expected to do their 40 hours at the factory on top of go to school.
Yeah, the 40-hour factory job is their part-time job around elementary school. Yeah.
They go to school for social hour. That's about what it is. And it beat up other kids. Now, you give me Gen Z's, 2,000. Probably. I don't. It depends. It depends on if you could convince them to come fight me and pull the iPad out of their hand.
That's right.
As long as I don't take their iPad, I can walk around in that room the rest of my life.
Yeah,
It's
they'll
like
never know.
Angel Reese trying to make a layup. I mean, it just ain't gonna
Oh
happen.
shit. She's the reason we're all watching women's basketball. Just ask her.
No, it kind of is now because we want to see how bad she performs. She got a triple double. Finally got a triple double.
Oh, yeah?
11 points. 11 points is what she scored, right? 13 rebounds and some assists. But she shot 2 for 7 field goals, but she went 7 for 7 from the free throw line.
I feel like, and I know I am at this point would be like the oldest player in the league. I feel like I could go 2 for 7 in a WNBA game.
Who couldn't?
I feel like I could go 2 for 7. I'm not
I
even
can
tall, but I feel like I feel like I could do it. I mean, I have no doubt, like one-on-one, Caitlin Clark would kick my ass. Not even close.
I think I can probably hang with Angel Reese if I can stop her from getting a me bound.
No comments.
I know she's like 8 feet taller than me, but I think I could take her. I mean, I can shoot way more than 2 for 7. I could probably go like 3 for 40.
I'll go straight Kobe. I'll go 50 points. I'll go 21 for 63.
And I'll tell you right now, I'm gonna stop rebounding after I make 10 points. I'm just saying, I'll stand there and let you keep shooting. If I get 10 points ahead of you, just give me the ball back after you make it. So
I'll just make sure I box her out after she shoots.
I think the funniest thing that I've seen, and this isn't mine, I'm straight up stealing it, but it was a quote on the internet where they said if you locked Angel Reese in a gymnasium over the weekend, she'd come out with 2 points and 10,000 rebounds.
Oh shit!
And that was posted on, that was a quote off of ESPN from somebody that said it. I don't even know who said that, but it's hilarious.
You know, if she hadn't been so outspoken about shit, she'd been allowed to just be. But she
Uh,
wanted to make this about her. She wanted us to believe
Still
that
is.
she was the reason. And
So
I'm just saying, like I'm just saying, have you had these Smirnoff Ice cosmic snow cones?
I have not.
This is
I have
pretty
not.
fucking spectacular. I bought this 12-pack of mix Smirnoff Ices. There's orange creamsicle, which is really good. I don't remember what the last one was I just had, but this cosmic snow cone is pretty fucking good.
Well, hold it up and do your little hand thing. And
There it is, the Smirnoff Ice cosmic snow cone. Smirnoff Ice, now it's on you. Go ahead. Here's your commercial. You're not allowed to do it on national TV because it's alcohol, which means it's fine as long as they don't drink it. Oh, 3, 2, 1.
you don't look like Shane Gillis, so you should be fine.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
So-
here's a fun one. One of our shorts on YouTube has 1,500 views.
We have shorts on YouTube.
Yeah,
That's awesome. I guess I
and
never,
we have a podcast on YouTube. Some of these people are watching it on YouTube right now.
I never get on YouTube, so
Well, I noticed you aren't one of our followers. I got it.
I believe that.
But yeah, we have a whole YouTube channel that you don't know about, apparently.
It's awesome.
That's great to know,
Is-
ain't it?
Is that where the person from Denmark watches this at?
No.
Oh.
That only tracks Spotify for creators, only tracks on Spotify.
Okay.
Unless I share the link through Spotify to another location, which I do not.
So Denmark, is that Amsterdam? Is it someone in the red light district watching us?
If you're lucky, there's
you know,
somebody in the.
It could be some sheep farmer. I don't care. Hey, we welcome and thank you for watching our podcast, sheep farmer.
Don't forget our Australian bugger.
Yeah, indeed. You know, maybe if we get to 100,000 Australians watching us, we can do a show from Australia.
And don't forget Canada.
Yes, and
Hold on, I forget what percentage we got of Canada, but we have
So-
a Canada.
so I'll just say we'll do Canada in July and we'll do Australia in January.
See, you could have a special day at the Blue Jays game right there.
There we go.
Let's see. Audience. Probably should have been nicer to the Gen Zers.
Yeah, fuck them.
They're 23% of us.
Actually,
No.
that's not bad.
18 to 22 is 23%.
That's pretty goddamn good. That
Right.
means if we got 100 listeners, 22 of them are 18 to 22 years old.
So you remember that adult setting that you make me turn on all the time, right?
No,
On
I
the
don't make you
episodes?
turn it on. You can do whatever
Yeah.
you want.
The explicit content button, right?
Yeah, you can do whatever
Yeah.
you want. Leave it off.
We have 1.8% of our following are 0 to 17.
Well, that's our 13-year-old friend that you play Call of Duty with.
Yeah. Oh,
Well-
shit. Look at that. We don't have Denmark, sir. You got it wrong.
What was it?
It's even better. It's Sweden.
Oh, fuck yeah.
The bikini team is watching us.
There is a town right over there. Some guy's going to be so lucky.
We got 7% in Canada, 1% in the UK, 1% in Sweden, and 1% in Australia.
That's awesome.
All on Spotify.
So, hey, make sure you like, follow, and share because I want to do an episode from the Outback.
I would I'm kind of scared of the things that live there.
Yeah, that's why it'd be half the fun.
As long as we don't go on a walkabout, we should be fine.
Yeah, no,
I would love to go to Sweden.
I just want to play. That's not a knife. This is a knife.
Do you see that right there? Is exactly why we're not going to get followers in Australia.
Obviously,
That's
you've
it.
never played Knifey Spoony.
Where's my camera? This guy right here is the reason, or that way, whatever side I put him on is the reason that we're never going to get a following in Australia.
That episode of The Simpsons is great.
Next,
Obviously,
you're going to be yelling, "Put another shrimp on the Barbie."
I don't know. I I think Australia would be pretty awesome to see. If I go down there, who do I got to talk to be able to drive one of those trucks that drags 18 fucking trailers behind them? I want to do that. I want to drive the 300-foot tractor trailer combination.
So in the next 30 years, by the time we get enough followers to go to Australia, we'll have that researched for you to see if you can have a drive for the day or
That
something.
would be awesome. You know, so I've seen, like, up in Minneapolis, they have this playground where you can go up there and you pay money and you can drive around in excavators and all the big, like, construction toys, you know, and they charge you to, like, you know, you can even run over shit in dump trucks if you want, if you pay extra. I want to drive one of the 300-foot long fucking trailer trains that they have in Northern Australia.
But where are you going to drive them at? They don't have a playground there.
On the fucking road in Australia. There's no one up there. They don't give two fucks.
He drove it down the fucking road, didn't he?
That's right. He just hit that ball down the road. Have you had a chance to watch that show on Apple TV yet at all?
To be honest, I forgot what it was called. I don't know how I forgot that. But no, I haven't.
We will need to do that. Maybe for the next episode, we will both watch episode 1 and we will discuss.
Episode 1.
I haven't even got through it yet.
Oh.
It's been a busy week. So maybe by next week, we each watch episode 1 of Stick on Apple TV. And we'll do our quick review of it and we'll see how it goes. See what we think.
Have you watched any of Mobland yet?
No. What's Mobland?
It's the new I forgot his name for some reason. It's Bane, the guy that plays Bane. Tom Hardy. It's Tom Hardy's new TV series about the mobs in Scotland. And yeah.
Is this
where he's the lead enforcer of the...
Is this a Hulu show? Because I've been basically blackballed from Hulu.
Why are you blackballed from Hulu? How did you manage that?
Because I was having to call in every month because I had Hulu. I had like the original Hulu. I've been on Hulu for so long. I was in like their like original programming package. And so I had the Hulu and Disney Plus and whatever, I think Max. And I was paying like not much. And they like did this deal where every month I had to call in and fucking re-up my Disney. My Disney would just shut off. And every time I tried to log in, they're like, oh, choose a new plan. So I'd have to fucking spend fucking hour on hold or talking to fucking some customer service rep from Hulu to get this shit taken care of. And finally, I had one that was just an asshole to me. I let him have it. I was not nice back. And I think I got marked as a blackballed. We do not want this guy as a customer anymore. Which, fuck them. If that's how you treat people that have been with you for so fucking long, fuck you, Hulu. Fuck you. What do you think about that? How you like them apples? Fucking Hulu.
The Smirnoffs are coming through. You are not. That was not cotton candy, sir.
No, this is not cotton candy. This is cosmic snow cone, motherfucker.
Oh, no wonder. It was a bit icy. That makes more sense.
Fucking Hulu, motherfuckers.
That's good shit.
Have you seen this deal that Disney only came up with the movie Frozen because there were too many searches on Disney Frozen talking about Walt Disney, how he like had himself froze before he died, or when he died, to try to come back to life. So rather than let people that be the first search, they made a movie.
So that's your conspiracy theory?
That's where we're going. You know what? I didn't get any kind of show rundown. I didn't even know what the fuck we're talking about today. So I'm just letting it fly. I'm just letting her fly, baby.
We're doing good so far. And there's a reason that you didn't get any rundown on this one, because it's Father's Day. You're a father. I figured you could run the direction of the episode, and it would be directed about Father's Day. Honestly, is what I thought was going to go on.
That would have been a rundown. That would have let me know, hey, we're going to talk about this.
Yeah, but
because I could have spent 3 hours talking about my kids. They're great. I love them. Best thing I ever did.
I don't. You might need to word that better, because apparently the greatest wife in the world is the best thing you ever did, because you got the kids out of it. I'm just saying.
Indeed.
And now you're talking about going and visiting coming. So I'm just saying, if you put those together.
You know, if they had their distribution set up better, I wouldn't have to drive a fucking hour and a half to go to fucking get their alcohol.
And you wouldn't be drinking that nice snow cone.
No shit.
I would
not. I would not be supporting some fucking bullshit alcohol if I could
and
get what I really want.
Right there.
That's
and
right.
Your commercial. You just lost
Yeah.
your commercial.
Damn it.
If I leave that in, you lose your commercial with
fuck.
Smirnoff.
You know what? Leave it in because hey, it's the second choice behind a local fucking distillery in Iowa.
That's just because you haven't run into Shinerbach yet. You'll be all right.
I found that was there, but
You should have got some. That shit's good.
yeah.
Once I get to Texas, that's the sponsor I want to get. Just
If you get
fill
to
up the boat.
when you get to Texas, we need to get Lone Star. I love Lone Star beer.
I got a
That
hankering
is-
for Lone Star beer.
That is my favorite beer. Lone Star.
So, we'll have Lone Star and Iowa Distillery for when I come back.
That's right.
That'll
Yep.
be fun.
We'll have to figure out a place to meet halfway where I can bring you a case of Iowa Distillery alcohol and you can bring me 12 cases of Lone Star beer.
Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't sound illegal at all. You bet I'm in.
What would be illegal about it? You're not selling it to me. You're
No,
giving it
I
to
get
me.
that. It was a joke. It needed to be our own little Smokey and the Bandit. We both pull up in semis and just switch.
So I need to go through my DVD collection because I got some movies I need to watch with my kids. Because I said a line the other day from Austin Powers, and my kids looked at me like I was an idiot. And so
Yeah,
need-
babe.
I need to break out Austin Powers for them and make them watch it with me. And I know we've had this conversation. There's a bunch of movies I need to make them watch with me, but like the '90s to early 2000s comedies were just fucking gold. So
See, and that's why I called bullshit on that list you sent me earlier of the 10 best comedy people.
well, honestly, the only reason I did it is because they had Will Ferrell as number one, and I know
Yeah, I
for
knew
whatever-
that was a lot of it.
for
but
whatever reason, like you hate Will Ferrell for some reason. But I mean,
And did you notice that they only had one certain genre of comedians on there? They left out Eddie Murphy, Chris Rock,
that's
David Spade,
Yeah,
Chris Farley.
Adam Sandler was on there.
That's not the same as Chris Farley. They're two different people.
Well,
three
they
different
are.
people.
Farley's list would have been much better had he lived another, 20, 30, 40 years.
Jim Belushi.
Same. Belushi's great. I love Animal House. I love Blues Brothers. Had he not died at the young age he did, forever. Great.
Dan Aykroyd, Bill
Uh,
Murray.
Yeah, Bill Murray's great. I love Dan Aykroyd. I love the Bill Murray stories that you hear where he'll just like walk up to people in restaurants and take one of their fries and eat it and be like, look at them right
Nobody
in the eye.
believe you.
No one will ever believe you. Yeah, but the thing is, I think we all believe it because
No.
that's
No,
Yeah.
he would. Yeah.
yeah,
But
absolutely.
when he first started doing it, nobody believed him.
No, which that's I mean, what a great I've heard of stories about him going to like house parties and just doing people's dishes and then like they walk into the kitchen and they're like, what the fuck? And he's like, no one will believe you. So
Did you see the one about he was on a podcast? Can't remember the first time that he said this, but I know he talked about it on Joe Rogan too. But he calls one of his lifelong best friends every time Roadhouse is on
oh yeah.
and says that that Swayze guy's got his wife all pinned up against the wall giving
Yeah.
her the business.
I've seen that. That's pretty good.
That's the kind of stuff that we're missing off
That-
your list, sir.
That's
That is way funnier than Will Ferrell.
that's things only best friends do to each other too.
So, like, Dad was on a military movie kick. What was it? Shit. I think he's still on it from the sounds of things. I don't know if you can hear it or not,
No.
but I think I got the D noise finally high enough to cancel him out. But he was watching sub movies. So I put him on the Hunter Killer movie that just came out in 2017. You seen that one?
No.
With Gerard Butler?
No.
That's a pretty good one. But
I figured if
I
he's watching
almost put him on Stripes.
I love Stripes. Stripes is a great movie.
I've seen it too recently. I can only watch that kind of humor every now and then.
Where's your drill sergeant? Load
Load
up,
up,
sir. Why did the chicken cross the road to get to the other side? Oh, that fucking movie's great.
See, now it's along the same lines as Caddyshack. where it's funny once every 2 or 3 years. But
I
I couldn't watch it
you,
all the time.
you know what movie I miss, and I haven't seen it. I can't figure out where. I don't have it on DVD, and I can't figure out where it's at.
Knight's
Wa-
Tale.
No, I have Knight's Tale. Wildcats. Remember the Goldie Hawn football movie? She goes and coaches that inner city
Yeah.
school of football.
Yeah, I can't watch that movie. I just can't.
That movie.
I haven't seen it in so long. I could probably watch it again though.
Yeah, that movie was great.
I thought you were gonna throw out like Coming to America or something like that.
Oh, that movie's awesome also too. But yeah,
He beat Joe Lewis's ass.
there's so many good movies that just like you can't find them now. It's like, God damn.
They have
Why?
a new Coming to America now.
Mm-hmm. I've
It's
seen
like a
it.
series or something.
I knew there was like a second movie they did, and I think the one part that made me laugh. So here's the lemon shaved ice Smirnoff, which isn't bad. That was the second one I had. I thought what was funny was that Coming to America 2, um, the dad who was played by James Earl Jones, like did his funeral before he was dead, so that way he could experience his own funeral. I'm like, that's fucking great.
That's nice.
You know, I
He's
mean,
gonna have a huge funeral. So
and he did. He unfortunately James Earl Jones died.
yeah.
What is cool though is like he gave his voice rights up, so like any Star Wars thing that comes out, they can use his AI to like redo his voice, or Darth Vader will always be James Earl Jones.
Yeah.
I assume he did the same thing with Mustafa or whatever the fuck the lion is. Let's be honest. The movie I'm most looking forward to coming out, though, I saw it's coming out in 2027. Have you seen this? Spaceballs 2.
Oh, yep. And they're
Um,
all the original cast members are going back.
yeah.
The ones
Yeah.
that are still around.
You know, realistically, I think they really missed an opportunity though, because they could have just put this out on like video cassette before they released it to the theaters as like a homage to the first movie, where they talk about how they have started putting out movies on cassette before they reach the theaters. Because you could do
Well,
that. You
before
could,
they finish recording it.
Because you could do
They could have
that.
just sold a blank cassette with like one little 5-second intro.
Well, there's only like 7 people in America that still have VHS.
But people
So-
would have bought it for the novelty of it.
Oh, absolutely. It would have been great.
And then VCRs would have made a comeback so you could watch what was on it.
Yes, absolutely.
That would be a great time. So if we're gonna have Spaceballs too, what's gonna
What's what?
you've lost your camera. I'm like, so if we're gonna have a Spaceballs too, how long before we get Blazing Saddles the second?
Oh, I don't know if you could do another Blazing Saddles. Like, I love Blazing Saddles, but it's you like you could remake Spaceballs today and get away with it. You couldn't remake Blazing Saddles today. You couldn't.
What about Robin Hood Men in Tights?
That one could be remade and absolutely should.
You could still have Carrie Elwes in it.
Yes. Hey, Blinken. Did you just say Abe Lincoln?
Lincoln?
No, I didn't say Abe Lincoln. I said, hey, Blinken. The castle gets foreclosed on, and they just pull the castle away, and the fucking blind servant's sitting there on the fucking
Still shitting.
on the stone, fucking shitting with a blind person Playboy. Fucking hilarious.
He misses the door coming out. I thought it felt a bit drafty.
Oh shit!
I am a Jew, father of a sneeze,
Bless you.
son of a sneeze. Yeah. What's another one of the good old movies? And don't bring up that stupid Knight one where the knight gets his arm chopped off. I can't even remember.
Oh,
what the
you're
hell the
talking
name
Mommy
is.
Python.
Yeah. That show was stupid.
Well, I mean, Cheech and Chong's movies.
Those were pretty stupid too. Up in Smoke. Now it's just basically Colorado.
Born in East LA.
What about the original like Escape from LA? Couldn't do that one anymore either.
A little rougher. Yeah, that'd be tough.
Yeah, that'd be a hard one. Or what is it, Big Time in Little China or some shit like that?
Well, in any of the Steven Seagal movies, you can't remake.
You could make that one that had Dennis Rodman in it.
You couldn't redo you can't redo any Chuck Norris movies because nobody can ever live up to Chuck Norris.
You can do Kickboxer. They've done it for years.
Well, that was just Jean-Claude Van Damme. Who cares? He's German.
I think you could probably they've used the plot multiple times from Under Siege.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Because
But
they used I think was Under Siege before or after Hunt for Red October. I think it has to be
I think
before.
it was after. I
Are
think
you
Hunt-
sure?
Yeah, I think Hunt for Red October came out before Under Siege.
Because they're like in Hunt for Red October, they're like it's always the cook because the cook's the one that was
Yeah,
shooting at him and
he was
sabotaging the boat.
Yeah, he was the KGB insider on the boat, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm pretty
I didn't
sure
know if that was kind of a nod back to Under Siege.
I would bet dollars to pesos that Hunt for Red October came out before Under Siege.
To the Google machine.
All right, bring her up.
We got the Google machine.
We really need some music for when we go to the Google machine.
You keep trying to get me to do music, and I only have one button that does music on my little board here.
And the board you sent me does like 8, but I can't figure it out. That is good music. I like it. That was a good find. It really was.
Oh, what the hell is the other movie? Google is Googleating.
Maybe we should just. Oh shit!
Wrong button.
Maybe we should have asked Meta AI.
Was released, premiering in the United States on March 2nd of 1990.
Okay.
Under Siege was released later on October of 1992.
All right. Yeah. So I was right as usual. What the fuck?
You like that one, huh?
Oh.
So that's our little. I can program in mixer sounds down here. I can make them myself and put them at the bottom, but I don't think I can beat.
Maybe
That should be the sound
if-
for the Google machine.
you need that, and you need to like add to it the old Kevin Bacon line from Animal House. Thank you, sir. May I have another? Thank you, sir. May I have another? What? That's it's pretty demented having the fucking 9-year-olds cheering after hearing that. That's fucked up.
Better?
That's all right.
All right, enough of the soundboard playing.
Oh, that's how
Yeah.
I feel when I watch Rangel Reese basketball.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, I need to make a brick thing. Donk. The old
There
doing
you-
from like Double Dribble.
Yeah.
Dong. We got so far off track on that one.
Oh yeah.
So now that we're on it, go for a movie that you would like to see remade and try not to ruin an original.
Wow. All right.
Like
I'll go.
update
I'll
it to the current day.
I'll go Bull Durham. That way you can enjoy it without Susan Sarandon. That way you can enjoy the greatness that is Bull Durham.
And then just make Kevin Costner the coach.
He could still be Crash Davis.
No, he
Crash
couldn't.
was an older player.
No, he'd be
you
like
know-
the rookie.
Yeah.
Because then he's way too far gone to be Crash Davis or the rookie at this point.
Yes.
But he could still be the coach.
He could be Lou Brown in Major League. Hold on
Yeah.
a second, Charlie. You got a guy on the other line about his pair of white walls.
But they already kind of ruined that one with number 2, and then they brought it back a little bit and back to the minors.
Yeah.
I thought-
I
You can't just switch out Wesley Snipes and Omar Epps. You can't do it.
I didn't care about that. It still had Bob Uecker. It was great.
See, I thought once you lost Wesley Snipes, you lost one of the better actors. Because I liked Omar Epps in the program, but I just didn't see him fitting in the baseball realm. And they turned Ricky into a for lack of a better word,
a giant bitch.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that I wasn't a huge fan of that, but they did give him a hot girlfriend.
Yeah, well,
and that'll turn anybody into one of those. So I don't know. I'd have to. I don't want to mess with Tin Cup, but there's no good golf movies anymore.
Well, that's a tough one to. I mean, so we'll have to wait and see though. Happy Gilmore 2 is coming out.
2, yep, that one's coming out.
So that might just completely destroy your theory on that.
So what movie in the old days had a great premise that they screwed up on that somebody should probably take a second shot at it? Like back in the day, The Natural, and they tried remaking it, didn't really try it, but they've done the premise again from The Natural, which I thought the original was all right, but it could have been a hell of a lot better.
What was the remake on that?
Well, they used the concept where, a kid comes up and, is a phenom out of nowhere and he's got a special bat or shit like that. They use that kind of theme all the time in movies. At least that's what I've noticed. It's always the same.
I'd like to see them bring back Police Academy. How about that?
That'd be a good one.
Maybe Michael Winslow could be the commandant now.
All he does is voices all day.
Yeah. I think
what about Mahoney? Mahoney should be the commandant on it, honestly. Or Tackleberry. Tackleberry'd be great.
He's too intense to be the commandant. The commandant's got to be practical relief, comedy relief.
Tackleberry could be Harris's character.
There you go.
And you could even make that.
And in fact, that would have to be played by Rainn Wilson, though, because I'm pretty sure Rainn Wilson, Dwight from The Office. So I'm pretty sure the guy who played Tackleberry's dad.
So here's one for you. So remember in Police Academy, the one that took place in Miami?
Yes.
And then they did the one that took place shortly after that with in Moscow.
Yeah, that one was terrible.
Remember the commandant's nephew was the main character in both of those.
Yeah.
So the nephew could become the new commandant.
I don't think that worked. He was a fucking loser.
The one with the dark hair?
Yeah. No, he's
You didn't like that guy?
No. Fuck him. He
the
sucked.
martial arts thing? Yeah, okay. Put Hightower in it.
Hightower, unfortunately, also is no longer with us.
Hooks. It can be Hooks.
I don't think she could.
Real quiet until she screams at people.
I don't think she could be the commandant.
I don't know. Hooks has got the range. Did we also lose the blonde haired chick?
No, Kim Cattrall?
No, the other one. The one that was the martial arts instructor.
Oh, the other trainer. I don't know. I'm not sure. But that was 40 years ago, so she might be like 89 now.
Yeah.
If she is still alive. She's definitely drawing the police pension if she's still alive.
You know, we could have another Fast and Furious movie. Sorry. Maybe this time that takes place on. Why do you keep turning your video off?
I didn't. I gave a thumbs down, and I just had an alert come up saying add effects using hand gestures. I didn't even know that was a thing. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, you're still doing it. Attaboy. I don't know. I was reading
the tip, which is weird because I never read directions. So
yeah, I can't really think of a movie I'd like to. Well, we could do a new Back to the Future and go back to 1985.
No,
back when things were sane.
You know, I saw something on the TikTok machine one day that said, like, you know how in Back to the Future 2, Biff was having trouble getting out of the car. Well, at that point, he had gone back to 1963 or whatever.
Yeah,
and given young Biff the magazine,
the almanac. Yep.
Yeah, so he was disappearing the way Marty was in Back to the Future 1 because he was becoming non-existent because he had changed the timeline of the world.
Yep. That you didn't realize that?
No, fuck no. Fuck no.
You just thought it was a fun movie, huh? And
yeah.
He was just moving weird.
Yeah, I just thought he was old.
No, he was making himself disappear.
That's right. That'd be a rough way to die. Go back and try to make your life better and you end up dead.
See, that's what, what's his nuts say? Neil deGrasse Tyson says that if time travel ever gets created, we can only go to the future. Because anytime you go backwards, time travel would never be invented to allow you to go backwards. Because
Interesting.
you screw up the timeline.
Well, was it you that sent me the TikTok thing that said the lottery was created to catch time travelers?
I don't believe that was me.
I like
I
that
don't
one.
remember that one.
Because, yeah, I would. I don't know if I'd go back and buy a lottery ticket. I would just go back and I would buy like Apple stock when it was like $1 a stock.
I would
That'd be way
definitely.
better than buying the fucking lottery.
Yep, I would have bought Apple stock, and I would have also been mining Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's no shit.
I would have started the computer servers just mining Bitcoin all day. But then Bitcoin probably wouldn't have taken off,
That's right.
and I'd probably get an embezzlement fraud or something like that from Apple because the right people wouldn't have the shares to get it to where it is today.
Yep.
So anytime you go backwards, you fuck something up.
Yep. No, it's like, what is it? It's Star Trek 4 when he gives the guy the formula for transparent aluminum, and the one guy's like, "You're altering the course of the future by giving this to him. How do we know he doesn't invent it?"
What about the red matter?
Yeah.
The red matter episode in Star Trek.
I don't remember episodes. I just remember that one movie with the humpback whales.
It's the new movie that came out though.
Oh,
When
then I
when
definitely
you
haven't seen
watched
it.
the new ones.
No, fuck no.
You got to watch the original one and the second one, but after that they got stupid
Yeah,
like normal.
that's how things go. B, I'm down to 16% on my phone.
Alrighty. Well, then I will do the big boy thing and sit here unparched for another couple minutes.
Yeah, I'd
Weird.
say it might be time to wrap her up and bring her home.
Oh, you want to wrap? What do you want to wrap her up with and bring her home with?
I don't know what we got.
Let's see. Well, promote your little can again, and then we'll talk about the
Yeah, so
upcoming events and the fact that we'll be going live.
this is the Smirnoff Ice lemon shaved ice. It's pretty good.
Is it better than the last one?
I don't know. I kind of like the snow cone. The snow cone was good. The orange sickle to me is the best. I like the, I mean, it's like, remember orange push pops? Remember the flavored
Sherbet.
ice, the flavored ice they sold us in the fucking toilet paper packaging, the toilet paper roll.
Yeah, I think they still sell those,
Yeah,
but they've gotten
that's-
plastic cups now.
Well, that's lame, but
Yeah.
but yeah,
Same
it's,
shape. You can't set
yeah.
it down.
Nope, and it's now alcohol infused, so it's good.
Yeah, those are always good. So, like we were talking about earlier, don't forget that you got to get your camper down here because we're golfing.
Yeah,
We got the golf event, and we will be going live at the campsite because we have an unboxing that you and Steeler get to do.
you are looking live.
looking live. But yeah, we're gonna do a unboxing, and then what's in there, we're gonna have a competition with.
All right.
I think it'll be a great time. It's definitely one you don't want to miss, and hopefully we can start working with that sponsor because those guys are pretty fucking cool.
I hope it's a case of
They
Lone
got-
Star beer then.
It is not Lone Star beer. It is not beer. Well, let me rephrase that. It is beer related, but it is not drinkable.
Oh well, I guess we'll
And
do
then,
what we got.
We'll go live at the golf tournament, and hopefully we will still be able to go live. Well, we'll still go live on one of our accounts at the Rock and Roll, which is the July 19th. So
Nice.
everybody needs to come join us for that. All of our Sweden fans and our UK fans
Just,
and Australia all come to Rock and Roll.
just hop across the
Canadians.
pond. It's no big deal.
You bet. Everybody show up for that.
I
thing.
know
It
our,
should be a good time.
our current president more than welcomes in immigrants. We love your visitors.
As long as they're here to visit, it's fine.
Oh, okay. Whatever it is.
They're not staying
Oh,
here.
all right.
So, all right, that'll wrap her up for this episode. Episode what? What are we on? 12 now?
I have no idea. I can't.
We've done this
that's-
12 times.
More-
And you found out that we have a YouTube channel
That's right. So join us on YouTube.
and Spotify. And by all means, make sure that you yourself go like and follow and all that, subscribe and buttons and pushing and commenting on our lovely page that we have over there on YouTube and Spotify.
Easy for you to say.
It is because I put it there. All right, man. You have a wonderful evening on your Father's Day.
We'll catch you later, buddy. Tuck area, I said hi.
Yep, will do.
All right, bye.
It's called Frosty Ding It, and I'm the dolphin, and you're the flower.
Well, I guess I think it should be Dr. Parker, but